Holiday came out in, which year was this? I think it was the early 2000s, 2006.
There you go. Yeah.
And then it had a budget of 85 million and it made 205.8 million at the box office. How crazy is that? From 8 million to 205.8 million at the box office. Pardon?
85.
Yeah, the budget was 85, but then the box office was 205.8.
It's more than Star Wars can do right now.
That's true. That's true. It was directed by Nancy Myers.
Written by her as well.
Yes. We've spoken about Nancy Myers on this show before. She's done movies such as What Women Want, the 2001 with Mel Gibson and Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
She's done The Intern, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, starring Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. She's done It's Complicated with Meryl Streep and Alec Baldwin. She's done Something's Gotta Give with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton. And what was this guy? He was there as well. Oh, Amanda Peet was there, and also Keanu Reeves was there. Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride 2. So
More
yeah,
in credits, yeah.
I think you can, even The Parent Trap. So I think you can see her style. You know, the type of movies that she normally does. It's these family-orientated, suburban type of type of films. You
Yeah.
know, realistic type of films, I guess you could say. And so the cast includes Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz has been in The Mask. She's been in Charlie's Angels 1 and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. She was in The Other Woman, What Happens in Vegas. She was in the Shrek franchise as Fiona. She was in
Justin Timberlake.
Pardon?
Bad Teacher with Justin Timberlake.
Yes, Bad Teacher. Yeah, My Best Friend's Wedding. There's Something About Mary. Ugh, I love There's Something About Mary. It's a funny movie, man. Vanilla Sky, Gangs of New York, and so on. And it also has Kate Winslet. She was in Titanic. She was in Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp. Little Children, Revolutionary Road with Leonardo DiCaprio. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is considered to be one of the best films ever made. I haven't watched it yet.
It's a decision at that point. It is a masterpiece. It is a decision.
Who directed that movie, by the way?
One of the greatest writers of all time. Actually, no. He was the writer, not the director. His name...
Michael Gondry.
Yes. He's a great director.
Charlie Kaufman. Isn't Charlie Kaufman one of the guys that wrote Friends?
What?
Charlie Kaufman, isn't he one of the people that wrote Friends?
Friends? No. Being John Malkovich.
Oh, Being John Malkovich.
Adaptation.
Yes.
Guy writing a story about a story of a... Yeah, that one's a master. Brilliant. And also Synecdoche, New York, which is a movie that you'd have to spend a year trying to explain it to people. It's like that. That was his first ever movie directed. I'm a big fan of Charlie Kaufman, but yeah, that's a movie. Those are movies you have to like explain because it's like, yeah.
Is it that complicated?
Well, Synecdoche is definitely, but it's about death. It's about death, but the intricacy and the artwork within it is so cool. Like for example, there's this one scene where they're like walking in the kitchen, right, and they're having they're just having like breakfast and talking to each other. But if you pay attention to the scene itself, like you see the date of the time moving, you see the date of the milk changing, you see all the little things, because what's actually happening is that there's time is flowing, and it's trying to show, instead of a montage of music playing with them going over the same things, kind of like, you know, the movie Nobody, where like he keeps doing the thing where he gets up, then he does the thing, and he wakes up, gets the thing, gets up, does the thing. You know, like, have you seen the movie Nobody?
I haven't.
Damn it. Okay. Have you seen Game of Thrones? Right, you've seen this. Sam is cleaning the toilets.
Yes.
And it keeps cutting like that. That
Yeah.
flow. Now imagine that, but one flowing scene where the things in the inside are the ones that are changing around you.
No, I get it. Like the music videos do that a lot.
Yeah.
Even in Garden State, something like that happens. But usually, sometimes what they do is they would show maybe people moving, but then motion blur type of movement, just to give you an impression of time. Yeah.
Exactly. But imagine something so subtle that you don't even see that. You have to pay. You have to watch twice to see it. You know what I mean? To
That
understand
is
what's going on.
crazy.
And I mean, don't also forget, let's not undersell Gondry for Eternal Spotlight. I mean, his forced perspective shots. He was doing that before Lord of the Rings, I believe. The whole so I think Eternal Sunshine came before Lord of the Rings, I believe.
Eternal Sunshine came out in 2004, I think.
Okay, 2004, and then Lord of the Rings came out when?
I think 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're right. Two Towers, 2001. So okay, no, he did it afterwards, but that's a big ass movie. A little romantic drama of him using things to make Jim Carrey look small. It's not the thing you'd expect to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's activity. Like, dog, I could talk about those guys for hours. It's not even.
You're talking about the technique they use to make people look smaller than they actually are, instead of using CGI.
Really cool.
Damn, he did it first?
No, he did it. Like you said, it was 2004 versus 2002. So he did it second. But the fact that he did it for a rom-com is kind of crazy. But
that's true.
Still a very unique way of doing it. Like, oh God, you need to watch this movie because it's you'll see, because the romance, the way it's done, is so well done. Like, you almost forget that it's a romantic story. No, you don't. You never forget that it's a romantic story because it's all about love, while at the same time doing all these cool shots. Because sometimes a story will tell itself in such a way where you're like, this is still a romance story, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
The way it's interwoven is beautiful. A good example being Interstellar. Like Interstellar, right?
Right.
Adventure, serious suspense. Then Anne Hathaway, remember the incident? Anne Hathaway starts talking about love. Love is the most important thing. Then we forget about that, and we go back to action. Then it goes back to Anne Hathaway. You're like, okay, first of all, your daughter was a bigger deal than Anne Hathaway. Why running back to her instead of just your daughter? Do you know what I mean? So, but that thing, it's a running theme. You'll have to see it. You have to. I insist.
Well, I'll make time.
You'll make me add.
I'll make time over the weekend to watch it because I'm actually watching a lot of films. I wish you and I actually had enough time to actually record every day, because the number of movies that I'm watching versus and the lists that I'm making, I'm like, when are we gonna record this?
I can't do that. It takes so long. It takes so long.
I know, because I'm also recording other shows. But anyway, I digress. We also have Jude Law. Jude Law, man, this man is one of my favorite actors of all time. He was in Artificial Intelligence, Cold Mountain. He was Dr. Watson in Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows. He was Albus Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald and Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. He was in Alfie, The New Pope, The Young Pope, The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yes.
Yeah, that should be enough. He was also in Captain Marvel as the villain.
What a waste of an actor.
What a waste of an actor. I don't blame him.
I know it's not his fault. A paycheck is a paycheck. I mean,
exactly.
Standing with Christian Bale, like, you're gonna put him in a what's that guy's name? A TT movie, like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah, look, and he did the best that he could. It's just
just out here breaking his back, just carrying that.
Anyway, then you have Jack Black. Most people probably know him as the voice actor for Kung Fu Panda or for Po in Kung Fu Panda or
Nation.
School of Rock. I think that's probably one of his biggest movies ever. Funny enough, School of Rock was directed by Richard Linklater, who's a director that we haven't touched yet, but he's one of my favorite directors of all time.
That's the Les guy. Is that
Les
the
Miserables? No.
uh,
Richard Linklater did like stuff like Dazed and Confused and Waking Life and Scanner Darkly and what's that movie, man? About is it Boyhood?
Oh, that guy, oh, the artsy guy. Yes. Okay, now I'm getting it. Now I'm getting a
Yeah,
vision. Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Love that guy, man. I love all his movies. Funny enough. Anyway, yeah. So he was in Fidelity. This has actually been turned into a series. Actually, High Fidelity. There's a series. Yeah. He was in Sherlock Holmes, School of Rock, King Kong, Nacho Libre. I don't know if Nacho Libre would be made today, though. Eh?
no, of course not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tropic
of course not. That's why all this stuff must be in a museum at some point. That's the greatest of history.
Yeah. Tropic Thunder, Bernie, Goosebumps, Jumanji.
Yeah. Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder is bigger than School of Rock. I feel like it is. But at the same time, they're both big movies. Don't misunderstand. But
I think I would say with the thing is the reason I'm not including I'm not considering Tropic Thunder to be his biggest is because he's not alone in it.
okay. So
You
you're
know,
talking about him being a soloist. Okay, no, fair enough.
yeah, like a lead without a lot of other big names in it, if that makes sense.
All right.
I know John Cusack is in it as well, but yeah, I think people know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then you have Edward Burns. Like this guy, man. He has this raspy voice. Hey, I don't know what's happening with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just strange for the whole movie. Like for the little bit that he's in.
Yeah. He was in Saving Private Ryan. Alex Cross. Mob City, which is a drama series. She's the one. Friends with Kids. Man on a Ledge. Ish, this is a good movie. We need to review Men on the Ledge. It's one of those movies that I guess seem like a low budget film, but it's not a low budget film, but it's good at the same time. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Making sense. I'm listening.
Yeah. And I'm sure you know this movie, bro. You definitely know it. But anyway, there's this movie, man, with him and Robert De Niro in it. I forgot what it's called. Where I think he's a firefighter, and Robert De Niro as a cop. Do you know the movie I'm talking about?
Nah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I guess you see at some point. Maybe that's why I missed.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely do a film review on it. And then you have Rufus Sewell. This guy for me looks like Jude Law. I don't know why they've never made a movie about both of them as brothers.
Yeah.
You
I
know
would
the gum,
say,
you know the gum I'm talking about, right?
yeah, Rufus, yeah. I would actually say, to me, he reminds me of Mads Nicholson. I want them to be brothers. Because they both have like these cool, sharp features.
Oh yeah.
Sharp, good-looking guys that have. They're a weird kind of good-looking, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's gonna sound. I feel like Tapelo should be here. But yeah, like I don't know how to explain it to you. Like a ruggedness to them, like that. I'm
No,
not
no,
explaining it to you.
I get you. If like certain anime characters that are mysterious.
Mm. Like Henry Cavill is like chiseled. Do you know what I mean? Like all
Yes.
type characters. You know what I mean?
All right.
Jude's always got like I wouldn't say baby face. Thanks to people like Charlemagne. I feel like baby face is taken away from people like Jude Law. Now
Yeah.
it's like the in between now. So you get like the Jude Law lookalikes. You get the thing which you get like Nicholson and this guy. They're like they got their own kind of like. I almost find.
Like
more stuff. Yeah.
he would play Zorro, if that makes sense.
He'd play not only would he play a Zorro, he'd play a dark, brooding, intense Zorro. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
think of him as a dark, brooding, introspective Zorro just by looking at him.
Yes. Or a James Bond or something like that. He has that. No, I get what you mean. I still think that he could play Jude Law's brother, but at the same time,
see them next to each other. I can kind of see what you're going for there. I can see what you're doing.
I also see what you're saying about them. If he was a Mickelson, yeah.
Yeah, because they both
I
got
remember
that.
he was in. Remember he was in. Is it Black Knight with with Martin Lawrence?
Yes. First of all, I'm alarmed that you remember that movie. Yes, you're right. He is in Black Knight with Martin Lawrence. Like
Yeah.
that is a good memory, dude. Did you watch it recently or something?
Not even, dog. The thing is, I like this guy. I really like him. I just
Tale. See, that's where I remember him from. A Knight's Tale.
funny enough, he was in The Legend of Zorro.
He was in Zorro, yes.
But the legend, and for me, the legend was not as good as the mask.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He was the bad guy though.
I do remember him in The Tourist because you haven't watched The Tourist.
I was like, the jokes were enough for me to not watch it.
Okay, no, I get it. And he was in The Diplomat.
He was in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That's probably why I recognize him as well. Oh my god, that's
who was he there though? Because I don't remember. I remember the movie, but I don't remember.
Is he the main bad guy? I don't think he was the main bad guy.
I don't know. Huh. I guess we'd have to rewatch that one then.
Yo, Anthony Mackie. I even forgot about that. I think he's one of the early vampires. I don't think he's the final. Oh no, I'm looking at some pictures right now. He's definitely near one of the final battles.
Oh.
He might be the main villain. If not him, then it's the other guy that always plays the bad guy.
The 5,000-year-old leader of an order of vampires.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Him and Martin Skoskas. Bad guy face. That guy's always a bad guy. I don't know if you know Martin Skoskas. Am I saying it?
Yeah, I know him very well. I know him very well. Yeah.
He was the husband. He wasn't Galadriel's husband. Yo, I just got my mind blown.
He was whose husband?
Galadriel's husband in Lord of the Rings, the OG Lord of the Rings. That's him, the blonde guy next to Galadriel.
Who's Galadriel, bro?
Galadriel, the white elf, the one that's there will be a dark queen.
Yes.
Next to her, remember there's three great elves, the three wielders. Elrond, Galadriel, and then there's a third guy. He's the third guy. I didn't even recognize him. I just saw it now on his IMDb. Dog, it's so funny. It's like, you know Jurassic Park, right? I've watched that movie like 5 times, the third one.
The Jurassic Park, the original.
Lost World.
Oh, Lost World.
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched that one.
I had to watch it again like a few years back, and I was like, is that Vince Vaughn? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think the thing about these guys is the more you delve deeper into, their filmographies and stuff, you see them in movies that you've seen before, but now that you notice them, you're like, oh, you were always here? How? When?
You know Death Wish? The Bronson movies, those like old school ones with the highly graphic, well, not violence, but anyway. In one of them, right? If you look carefully, you see Denzel Washington doing his first ever scene, and involves him getting shot. And you're like, and then in another one, there's Lawrence Fishburne, and it's like, and there's Jeff Goldblum playing R-worders.
Yeah, I guess we gotta start somewhere though, right?
Oh no, definitely. But it's so funny recognizing them later on, you know what I mean?
I felt the same way when I saw Goodfellas for the first time and I saw someone else. I'm like, what the hell?
Right! This guy's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it doesn't even speak. It doesn't say a word.
Dog.
Ugh, man.
But he's in one of the greatest movies of all time, just in the background. He's just in one of the greatest movies, just there. In one of the greatest movies of all time.
Anyway,
Yeah, let's not get distracted.
and then you have Eli Wallach or Wallach or Wallach, I don't know. He was in the good and the good, the bad, and the ugly with
Is he Tuco?
pardon?
He's Tuco! He's Tuco! He's the ugly! He's the ugly in the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, don't shoot. No talk. They're my favorite lines. Oh, shit. I did not know that. I won't lie to you. Oh my god. Have you seen The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, by the way? Oh, you froze.
It's a movie.
Wait, did you say the most
Sorry,
shocking
you just froze.
in my life? Did you say no?
Pardon?
Did you say no?
Yeah, I said no, bro.
Jesus. You know what? We've had this discussion more than once before, where it's like you'll be like, it'll be like some 2015 movie starring like 4 people, and you'll be like, yeah, no, I saw that one twice, and then like the greatest movie of all time. No, I haven't seen that one. I said, this is the thing, dog.
Here's the thing about me, ne? I know a lot of movies. I've watched a lot of movies, but I've noticed that the difference between me and you is the movies that I haven't watched. Some movies that I haven't watched, you watched, and then some of the movies that I watched, you haven't watched. So I guess it balances out.
And our actors,
But
yeah, our knowledge of actors is very different. Like you will know,
yes,
like the guy, like you'll know the guy that plays Get Out, the black guy. I keep forgetting his name. Like
Daniel
you'll know
Kaluuya.
all of his movies.
Right.
The guy that plays Al, sorry. But then I will like only know Get Out or like Death Note. But
Right.
you know all his other movies,
Yeah.
like that Destiny did. And
But
like,
by the way, it's not the same person, hey? The guy who plays L is not the guy who plays Get Out. Oh, but you're right. Get Out. In Get Out, he was not speaking, right? It's the guy with he didn't have the.
time with the Flash.
Oh yeah. Not the main character, just the guy with the hat.
Exactly.
You're right.
I'm not racist.
My apologies. Yeah, so that is the cast, guys. Okay, Eli, as I've mentioned before, the good, bad, and the ugly. He was in the associate. I've seen him in a movie called Too Big to Fail or Too Big Fail, which is a movie that I would like us to touch on. It's about the financial crisis in America.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. But they don't show him here for some reason.
He's on the list. Maybe he's uncredited.
Maybe because I don't even think he says anything in that movie. Yeah.
Well, I always love those kinds of movies. I'm curious to see what they left in and left out. Like, for example, The Big Short is one of this movie I loved until you actually do some more research. You realize actually there's more to it than that. And it's like, it's so interesting. I love those kinds of movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,